At the present, there are several dozen volcanoes, which are actively erupting around the planet. During 2022, several volcanoes produced notable eruptions, the most famous of which was the explosion eruption of the Hungabab volcano on January 15, 2022. As we approach the beginning of 2023, you might wonder which volcanoes could theoretically erupt during 2023, although predicting which volcanoes may erupt is near impossible. In my video published on January 1 of 2022, which listed 5 volcanoes that could erupt in the entirety of 2022, I ended up predicting 3 of the 5 correctly, with the other 2 on my list showing signs of volcanic unrest despite not erupting. Before I unveil my list for 2023, I want to note a disclaimer: this list is largely opinion-based, so do not take my entries on this list as fact, especially since not every volcano mentioned in my prior video ended up erupting. Do not visit and or purposely avoid the volcanoes which I am about to say merely because I mentioned them in a YouTube video. Instead, check with the local authorities and associate volcano monitoring agencies beforehand. In my opinion, the Semisufikani volcano in Alaska could erupt again in 2023. Although this volcano is situated on a fairly large volcanic island, it is fairly remote and thus uninhabited. However, recent eruptions of this volcano have been generally moderately explosive, which on occasion has disrupted regional air traffic. Semsiostavnikoi, best described as a caldera volcano, with post-collapse volcanations, which have erupted quite frequently in the last several hundred years. However, since 2018, Semisposion has produced 4 distinct eruptions, including an eruption lasting for more than a year, from February 6 of 2021 to September 14 of 2022. Another smaller eruption occurred on November 7, and since then the volcano has not erupted again. Despite this, Semisuppressional has continued to reduce seismic activity, and the December 24 an explosion-type signal was picked up from the volcano moving into South America, specifically to Galapagos Islands. The Fernandina Shield volcano might erupt in 2023. Since 2020, this volcano has been the site of 2 episodes of presumed magnetic intrusions which have uplifted sections of the volcano. The latest magnetic intrusion appears to have begun around December 1 of 2022 and is still ongoing. At volcanoes in the Galapagos Island chain, ground deformation often occurs in the days, weeks, or months before a volcanic eruption occurs, much like seen before a volcano erupted in 2022. Although an eruption of the Fernandino volcano could have an explosive component to it, any eruption would likely transition to our primarily effusive one. Once again appearing on this list is the Taal volcano in the Philippines. Despite initially appearing to be a small volcano via its central island, looks can be deceiving, as the true outline of this volcano is much larger, consisting of the entire lake, which represents a complex caldera rim. The Taal volcano tends to produce episodes of volcanic eruptions, with several occurring during a short time span before producing no or very few volcanic eruptions for several decades. Ever since Taal's explosive eruption in early 2020, the volcano has been an eruptive period, with several free homogeneous explosions occurring each year. Since the volcano is still producing several thousand tons of sulfur dioxide each day, which likely indicates the presence of shell magma, there is a reason to suspect that it might erupt again in 2023. In Iceland, the Green Zone volcano might erupt again in 2023, especially since it has produced a heightened amount of earthquake storms and glacial floods related to increased activity from the volcano. There are good reasons to suspect that Greenspan is prying for another eruption which might occur in the next half-decade. The 5th volcano which might erupt in 2023 is a submarine volcano located off the western coast of Oregon. There, the edifice of the large axial seamount volcano has been presumably continuously uplifted since its last eruption in 2015. According to a scientific paper which is referenced on screen, the last 2 eruptions from this volcano have occurred after its edifice was uplifted by more than 2.7 meters when compared to ground levels after its last eruption ended. Between the end of this volcano's last eruption in 2015 and the beginning of 2019, this volcano was uplifted by 1.8 meters, and although not proven, this uplift may have continued into 2022 and could continue into 2023. Thanks for watching. If you would like to request a specific topic, please leave a comment below. Additionally, I would like to thank this channel's